Yo, what is good? It's your boy RJ in the building, and today we have yet again another guide, and this time it is a Utakata guide. Now, that's like I said in my Kid Amaro video. I really like square characters. I really think Utakata has a lot of potential on him, and it's something that I would like to share with you guys. Now, that being said, on the top, this is the team that I use for Utakata. The first thing I want to mention is that both of Utakata's jutsus are really good. One is the water dragon, which I have chosen for this team. One is like a bubble kind of jutsu which kind of floats. It's a bit defensive. It's really good for like being in the way. I can't really tell you which one's better than the other. It kind of depends. The water dragon can be a bit inconsistent at times, but sometimes having the range and the speed that it comes out at as well is really useful. So I kind of alternate between the two depending on what I'm going for. You know, in this dragon it's really good with Shizui zoning wise, but the bubble one is really good at, you know, if someone's aggressive, it's really good at doing that, or if somebody likes to throw a lot of kunai, it's really good at like getting in the way. So in terms of his jutsus, I would say it more depends on what you're going for. I wouldn't really say pick only this over this, right? So that being said, let's talk about Utakata. Now Utakata, as you know, he's a square character, but he doesn't really have generic square combos. Now his square combos, most square characters, their square combos, they move very fast, like they're very quick. They come at you from far pretty fast, or at mid in Shino's case, you know, reasonably fast. But with Utakata now, it takes him a while to get there. He doesn't really get there in all of his, because he's throwing bubbles. It takes a while. He doesn't really have that generic I'm gonna dart you from across the map. But that's a pro and a con in itself. Con wise, you can't really zone anyone from like here. With other characters, the other square characters, you can kind of just throw out your square from here, zone them out like that. He can't. He cannot do that. It takes too long. But again, like just similar to Kidamaru, his bubbles can be very annoying because they're slow. Now, how, you ask? Now, because you're throwing out combos, look, even if I'm pressuring you from here, the bubbles are still coming for you, right? They're on the screen for reasonably long, but they're coming for you at the end of the day. If you see. So for that being said, he can play neutral. He just can't play neutral by himself, right? Especially if you're being aggressive. So what you want to do regarding his game plan is, if you're trying to go in, unless you're thinking about going in, you can literally set up your bubbles, go in. You don't need to shoot loads of bubbles, but just set up your bubbles and go in, right? Because then if they do hit you, they can save you, and if you hit them, then you get a bit more extra damage if they do hit. So that's how you kind of want to use his bubbles in terms of the aggressive approach. You want to put them on the screen, go in, let them do its work, play around them, and that's how you generically want to use his bubbles, right? Now, in terms of him, oh wait, no, let's stick to neutral actually. I don't want to jump the gun. So now this is a thing where I can't really display it, but you can test it out amongst your friends or yourself, or however you want to do it. So the good thing about his circle combos is that it shoots out bubbles. You can't dash through these bubbles because it counts as circle combos, not kunai. So you can't dash through these, right? Another thing that's also good is that when he is shooting out these bubbles, and I don't know why that is, you can't use switch tech for that period of time, right? Now, why does that benefit you? Well, one, is restricting your opponent from one of the main tools of the game, which is switching, but also there's a mechanic called double dash where you do this, right? Now, what that does is that the first character you dash with will tank a hit, and your second character, which is you, will go straight through it. Now with Utakata, now if someone is trying to double dash, right, so the first person can tank that hit, they won't get the dash out, so they will just dash you expect to get the switch, and they will not get the switch. They will just dash straight into your bubbles and be like, huh? So doing this in neutral is really good to do, especially if they don't know. If they do know, then obviously they won't do it, but you still might catch them off guard, but just a lot less. But yeah, that's something like you can definitely like keep in mind when you are throwing it out. And then when your friends are going, wow, I switched, you can be there in your grid in the background going, you can't switch. But yeah, so that is something to note. Also, like I said to you, you can't dash through these bubbles. So if you're playing defense, that's what you want on the screen, because the fastest way to get in on someone is dashing. So if, for example, you have someone who can help you in the neutral, for in my case I have Shizui, you can literally deploy Shizui, get those bubbles out. Okay, I got a strike back. I'm gonna do this because I couldn't help myself. But yeah, you can get those bubbles. You can deploy Shizui just to, you know, give them incentives so they can't dash you. That will allow you to set these up, and then while you're behind these, you can even do another one. You can dance around them. If they go left, you go right, because you want them to stay in the middle. If they go right, you go left, because you want those bubbles to stay in the middle so they don't have a clear view of you, right? And you can keep doing this. If you have the bubble jutsu, you can even deploy the bubble jutsu. I've not got it now, but I can show it on the screen as well for you guys. But you can do the bubble jutsu and then do this straight behind it, just as a setup, a defensive setup as well. And again, depending on what character you have, you can deploy like a little neutral, like a little assist to help you regard it. If you have the dragon, then obviously you have this here, you can shoot here, you can deploy a neutral assist, you can shoot out the dragon just to pressure them as well, just so they don't get comfortable. Now let's get to his more taijutsu, close range, combo-y kind of stuff now, yeah? So again, the good thing about him is that he does do decent damage in his combos. His neutral combo does give him a strike back as well, right? So if you sub, right, these bubbles, yeah, then you can actually sub in place, because it counts, even though it comes from a circle combo, it counts as kunai, I believe, even though they can't dash through it. It's a bit weird to explain, but you actually sub in place. Now if you sub in place, I'm gonna quickly start the combo, then I'm gonna pause it on where they would sub, and then I'm gonna continue it so you can see it, right? Wait, hold on, I did the wrong timing. Let me get the timing right. There you go. So now if I put on sub, he subbed, yeah? So as you can see that he subbed. Now this is kind of bootleg, because it's a bit hard to go back and forth for you guys. So then if I take sub off, you see how he subbed in place there, and then he got hit by the rest. I know it's a bit weird because I did a lot of pausing and playing, but I hope that you did follow it. But yeah, if you do sub the bubbles, you sub in place and you actually can get hit, you can't block it. And then if you have a strike back on your team, you get hit by a strike back, you get damage, right? So that is one thing to note on his square combos regarding getting hit, to why I really like to force his square combos on people, because a lot of people, because his combos are so short before he gets there, a lot of people tend to sub there not knowingly, then they sub the bubbles, they get hit by the bubbles, they get strike back, and if they have no subs, I get ultimate, I get big boy damage. So that is something to definitely keep in mind when you are playing Utakata, right? So why, again, if you do want to sub Utakata, if you're playing against the good one, you want to sub him early. Don't sub him late. If he gets to his bubbles, just let it hit. Just let it hit, or sub the knockback if they have a strike back. But you want to sub Utakata early if you are gonna sub him, right? Okay, so the weird thing with Utakata as well is that I did some tech from before where you can go from circle combo to square combo. Utakata, due to how slow his bubbles come out, you can't actually go from circle combo to square combo, even if you involve a tag as well. It doesn't work. If it does work, if one of you do get it, then let me know, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't work. I've found, like, unless you have a support to help you, you can't go for him solely by himself, go from a circle combo to a square combo, due to the fact that his first bubbles don't come out as fast, which is unfortunate. So you would need someone to necessarily help you from doing that if you are going to do that. Getting onto, you know, the main thing about the character, him being his square combos as well. One thing I've realized is that his bubbles combo up to here. After that, it does not combo. But because again, this is where I like the fact that his bubbles move slow. Because his bubbles move slow, look, you have so much time to start a combo. You can start a combo, you can do an ultimate, you can do a jutsu from here, you can do so much because he jumps back, and you have so much time to walk in and start your combo, right? That's something, I think this is the reason why I probably love Utakata as well, because look, see, he blocks the rest, but literally the fact that you can do that, he's really good for setting up somebody from the square combo as well. So that's something I really like about him, due to the fact that his bubbles move slow, gives you time to walk up and do his thing, right? So like I said, for him, he's used to set up your main character, your point character. He's more supportive, if you've not realized, again, similar to Kidomaru as well. When Kidomaru's for Utakata can throw this out in the neutral, help your point character can get in. If he got you in the combo the same way, he can do this to help you get in the combo, and then you can do your thing from here, right? So it's he's really good for that as well, helping, you know, your character get in as well. It's really good on block also. Now his block combo is this. See, I know you can start your block pressure from there. You have to be a bit more quicker because it's on guard, and you don't have that extra stun after the bubble. But he's really good for that. He shoots out plenty of bubbles as well, for him to do that. His up combo is decent to be used, but sometimes it does. I find that sometimes it does miss, so I tend to not rely on it too much. It's a bit weird, sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses, it's a bit odd. So I would say literally switch from the time he jumps back and then go from the guard pressure from here, right? It's really good for guard pressure as well, because you're firming each and every bubble, and then you switch and then you start guard pressure, and now your opponent's gonna be like, yo, my guard is getting hit way too much. Especially if you have someone like Killer B or anyone on your team that can really hit your guard as well, they're not gonna want to block that. So his bubbles are really good on guard, as it's really good on here as well. So that's something to also keep in mind also, right? Now, if you want to, I like being Utakata, I love square characters, and this is why I have Hanabi in my team. So this is little RJ tech, yeah, just a little bit of RJ tech right there. What I like to do is when I jump back, I deploy Hanabi, and then I can go again. See? Now, that's something that I like doing regardless. It's the same thing in terms of here. See? I can do whatever I want from these bubbles, and that's what I like doing as well. I can go straight into square combo, go into Hanabi, like, guard's gonna be broke, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, in terms of his guard pressure with Hanabi, it is solely amazing as well if you do catch somebody with a bubble. And you can do the same thing from here if you deploy her early. See, it's really amazing. This is why I like Hanabi with Utakata, because as soon as she hits your guard, if you're good, you can deploy her, and she's really good at wasting subs as well. So with her paired with him paired with Hanabi, in terms of that guard pressure as well, in terms of the fact that if somebody's trying to get in, you can deploy Hanabi, you can hide behind her, you can do this setup as well, you're behind her, or you can show out your bubbles, you can really play around her, and that's something that I really enjoy doing, and I think that they are really good together. So yeah, in terms of my Utakata guide, as a summary, again, he is a support character. He is there to help out your points as well, but you can have someone who can also help him out too, as he can, you know, like I have played the whole game where I am just Utakata and I'm chipping away at you. I'm using, you know, Shizui to help me zone. I'm using Utakata to help me with the Taiju. Hinabi to help me with the close range, and you know, he can be played in a very patient way, but he doesn't really have an aggressive playstyle. You gotta really know how to force that neutral, and you gotta be really creative. Gotta be really creative. So that's something to definitely keep in mind when you do play Utakata. Yeah. So that being said, yeah. So the characters, this is the team that works for me. This is the team that I really like for him as well. He's not meta, but I feel like he has high potential as well. One last thing before I do close the video off is I do want to show you something regarding his awakening, because his awakening is definitely something worth mentioning if I can find it. Now, in his awakening, he actually has an infinite, and that is his first hit. Smack. Wait, hold on. Right here. Smack. Smack. You can do this infinitely. Now, I really like this awakening because it's so safe, because it's just one hit. You can just keep going all day long, right? Now, that's the one thing good of his awakening, is that that's where his infinite is after his first hit. You gotta walk forward a little bit. How I do it is I hold the direction that I'm walking in, and then I just time the circle. So the whole time I'm just holding the direction I'm walking in. I'm not letting go of the direction, and as soon as I see me walk forward a bit, I just tap circle. It's really easy to do. Yeah. Now, another thing to mention as well is that after his first hit, this cannot be counted. Not a single thing can be counted after his first hit. So he's really good for if you do want to control that neutral, is you with the first hit, you can even combo switch the other hits as well, just to really control that neutral. So if you do have a good awakening that you paired him with, then him doing this is really good to do as well, just to control that neutral, because they can't counter it, they can't do much, they have to dodge it. Because if you didn't know, when you do fight big awakenings, counter is really strong, because as soon as you get a counter, because they don't get blown back, you can it's actually your turn to start being aggressive with them after you hit a counter. But with the Utakata's awakening, if he missed apart from the first hit, he can't be countered. So that is really good for Utakata as well in his big awakening. Also, another thing to mention, and this is the most crucial thing above everything that I have said in this video, is that this guy's run is the funniest thing known to man. I'm not gonna lie. Look at it. When I see this run, I literally just think of, whoa. That's what I think of when I see him run. It is the funniest thing known to man. So off of principle, when you awaken with him, you have to run in his awakening at some point, because it is the funniest thing known to man. I love it. But yeah, so if there's anything you take away, it's that run. But nah, all jokes aside though, Utakata, take into what I said, he's really good. To build it, like I said, you don't really want to build, you can build a team around him, but I would say just having like one person that works with him well is good, and then the other person can kind of fill in the gaps, and you can still do it that way. But he is not your point character. You can kind of play him as a point character, but in terms of high level play, it's really not recommended, unless you know you just have a very strong Utakata at that point, or someone doesn't know how to go by it. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please just give this video a like, subscribe as well, leave a comment to let me know what you most find effective, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, sayonara, and adios.